Hey everybody, Charlie Dobbins here. I'm in a different setup as I normally am with my vlog. I normally am in my studio, but today I'm actually in the conference room for one of my offices. So that's why everything's looking a little bit different from what you usually see on my vlog, my video blog. So I just finished the Monday night call, and I want to let you know what we talked about. I'm actually going to do a little teaching here on this one, and it has to do with what not to do with your letter of intent. And the reason why I'm teaching this is if you're one of my students, if you're in the owner forum, you know that you do not send out any document unless I've had an opportunity to look at it. I look at all your letters of intent. I look at all your purchase and sale agreements. We do the due diligence together. I look over your shoulder every step of the way. And the reason why I've decided to teach this particular lesson tonight is because I see so many stupid mistakes that people are sending out there regarding their letter of intent. And I just want them to understand that this is the first chance that many of them are getting out there in the business world of multifamily, and their offers look silly. And I don't want that to happen to you. Put your best foot forward. Look professional. This is a business. Treat it like a business. Don't make stupid mistakes. Okay. So let me set up my camera here because we're going to do a little PowerPoint presentation. And I'm going to put it right up here. And let's go through it. What I have to do here is now start to share my screen like I did this morning or this afternoon or just now. And let me blow it open here for you. Okay, so, and the thing about this conversation is it's all about form, not substance. I do nice videos on the membership site to talk to you about the letters of intent and what should be in them and what shouldn't be in them. But this is different. What I'm talking about here is the actual form of the letter. Don't look bad even in the form. So first off, never forget what a letter of intent is. It's a business letter. And because it's a business letter, you've got to write it like it's a letter, okay? Not like it's a little note or memo. It's a letter. Therefore, start with a letterhead, something nice, like don't do this, because you'll never believe it. All of my my resources and archives section, I have 4 standard template letters of intent that you use depending upon what situation you're in. And so when I wrote them, I thought I was helping people out by saying, hey, your company name goes here, your company name here. You'd never believe it. Some people actually leave that in there and don't change it, and they're about to send it out to a broker. No, what are you doing? That's crazy. And how about this one? This is another one where it says at the top, letter of intent. Well, okay. You don't need to tell me that. The letter should tell me that. You don't have to put that in the header. Tell me your business name. Like, do something like this. Your name here and Bryanton Associates. Now, this is kind of an inside joke. If you were in the owner forum, you'd know why that name Bryanton is in there. But it's kind of an inside joke. Little inside baseball. That's okay. If you don't get it, join the owner forum. You'll love it. You'll love it. Okay, so another thing is the business address. Remember, folks, it's a letter, just like they taught you how to do in high school, writing a business letter. You got to put the address in there, and you got to write it like it's a real address. We all know how to write an address. The same thing you learned about how to write an address in high school needs to be done here. Folks, I can't believe I'm talking to some people this way, but I have to do it. It drives me crazy. I want them to look good. I want all my clients and all my students to look good. And so therefore, have them write it the right way. I'm checking to make sure my volume is on. All right, make it look professional. For instance, now I made sure that I wasn't trying to call anybody out, but I kind of put in here some actual letters. I removed as much information as I can so you can't figure out who wrote this, but I'm calling them out on it. Okay, so here, look at this. Let me go back here. Check this out. I want to show you. This is the beginning of someone's letter. Check this out. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Do you know what I'm counting? I'm counting all the different fonts that this person has used in the first 4 lines of the letter. Why? Why are you doing that? It looks silly. It looks ridiculous. And all they're doing is cutting and pasting from other documents and sticking it in here. Okay? Don't do it this way. If anything, all you're going to do is highlight, select all, choose one font, choose one style. Boom, you're done. That's it. You look great. Your letter looks fantastic. Okay? Now take a look at this. Here's more of the business address. Look at this. This is in the address of the letter. Now, granted, it's being delivered via electronic mail. That's fine. But at the same time, we have to write it like it's a letter because that's what it is. So therefore, why do you put a to? To this guy? Like, what is this? Like something you're going to put on a package for him? No. Look at Mr. She doesn't put the period in. The seller, owner of record. Well, that's not his real title, okay? As I Am Property Management LLC, he might be the president. So put down president. Where's it going? There's no address here. I don't even know what city the guy lives in. And it's got a telephone number. You don't put a telephone number in a business and an address on a business letter, okay? Lose it. Now, you can put the email in there because you did say that it's being delivered via electronic mail. So here's what it should look like. Delivered via USPS and electronic mail. I mean, if the notice section of the purchase and sale agreement says it has to be sent by USPS, then you better make sure you have that in there. And here I've just laid it all out there nice and neat. That's what the address section should look like. Now, the subject line. Here's the thing. A lot of people think that RE means reply or respond or response. It actually is a legal term that we use, as I said on the call. It dates back to like 1850. It's Latin, okay, for in re, or as we lawyers say, we talk about things in re regarding this subject matter. So RE means subject matter. The letter of intent for the purchase of Perry Apartments. Let me show you my highlights here. So that's what that is. Now take a look here. You can start to use capitalized terms in the subject line, and here we do it, and this is the way you would do it. Then it goes at colon. Okay, at colon. Why would we talk at colon? This is a subject line. It's a letter. There's a period coming up at the very end. Actually, two of them. So why are we putting colons in there? It looks sloppy. So look at this. Here is what was on the letter that was about to go up. This is the before. Here's the after. It's got indentation. It's lined up perfectly. All right. We took out the colon. We took out the period because that was not the end of the sentence. We also took out the USA. Don't need USA, okay? That's not what we do when we describe where the properties are located. And then we added the period at the end. That's where the last period should go. So that's what the subject line should look like in your letter of intent. Okay, now this one drives me batty because when I look at a letter of intent, when a student sends me over a letter of intent, it takes me 30 seconds to go through it. I wrote the template. I know what should be in there. I know how it goes. And I know where the students always screw up. And it takes me 30 seconds to figure it out. But this one always drives me crazy. Check out this, the salutation. This letter is going to who? Who's it going to? Mr. Timothy Taylor? Then why do we call him Bob? Why do we call Tim Bob? Okay? Don't be sloppy. Read your own letter. Proof it. Make sure you did it correctly. This is just sloppy. Don't do it. All right. Now, another one has to do with cross references. For those of you that are in my program and you understand how this works, in the short form letter of intent, that's part of the resources archives. The paragraph 1 talks about the purchase price, shows where all the money is coming from. We talk about the earnest money deposit. Now, further down in paragraph 3, we've talked further about the earnest money deposit and exactly how it's supposed to be structured. So make sure the two numbers match up. Now, the reason why I caught this, because here's what happens. When a student sends me a letter of intent or a purchase, any document, I look at the document and I save it as REV, revised, reviewed, CTD, that's me, and the date. And I save it to the cloud. So I have a copy of everything I've ever sent at one of my students. In this particular case, this student got the deal on a contract. And then he says, I need you to help me write the purchase and sale agreement. I said, fine, send me over your updated version of your purchase and sale so I can take a look at, you put in all the changes. And then also send me over the letter of intent so I can make sure the two of them speak together. Because remember, the letter of intent is the first thing. This is what you guys have agreed to. Everything that you've agreed to in the letter of intent has to end up in the purchase and sale agreement. If it doesn't exist. So if you ask for seller financing in the letter of intent, and whoopsie daisy, I forgot to put it in the purchase and sale agreement, and you execute the purchase and sale agreement, gone, no seller financing. So that's why I always have to see the letter of intent with the purchase and sale agreement to match them up. So this particular student sends me over the purchase and sale agreement, and I look at it and I go back, okay, let me go back and check the earnest money. And okay, whoa, wait a minute. You got two different dates and things in here. So right away, I think that it's my fault, that I screwed up when I did the analysis. And so I go back and I pull up my revised file and off the cloud, and I look at it, I'm like, no, I did it right. This student never used my version with the seller. And so the mistakes he made before all carried over. So I can't write the purchase and sale agreement because the numbers are all wrong. Time wasted. Now he has to go back to the seller, tell him the mistake, tell him what changes need to be made. Who's in control of the deal at that point? Not my student. They violated the number one rule. All right, so this is something that's cross-referencing, looking at different numbers for the earnest money deposit. Now, folks, here, read the fine print. Because it's yours. It's your document. You wrote the fine print, so make sure you read it and you know what you're doing. In all of our documents that we send out for the letter of intent, in the last page, we include all of the documentation that we are going to need to flow through the due diligence period. All right? Same every time. And in it, you'll see that there's a tax year. Now remember, mine are just templates. Modify them as you see fit, but modify them. Don't leave the wrong year in there. What some of my students have done is they've taken my documents and they've fixed it so they work for all future events, like the tax assessment for the current year. Okay, that works. You'll never have to change it again. But for some students, they just never change this. It drives me crazy. Remember, it's a template, but don't make it look like one. And here's what I mean. This is one of our templates. Look at, they have all these lines in there. Well, those lines are things that you're supposed to fill in, not leave them there. Once you fill it in, remove the line, clean it up. This thing is crazy. It doesn't make any sense. Can you imagine sending this out on your letterhead? Oh, the guy's going to take one look at you and say, boot camp. You know what I'm talking about, right? All right. TBD is okay for a broker, but not for you. TBD, to be determined by market. What's the price? TBD by market. All right, fine, Mr. Broker. We'll figure it out. But when you're sending out an LOI, don't say TBD anywhere in it. Put the answer in there. Now, I talked about this with the, for instance, here it is with the title company. This is what the guy put in there, and then he left a line underneath it afterwards. Here's the thing. You're in control. Stay in control. Tell him who you want to use for your title company. What if I don't have a title company? Well, get one. You're eventually going to have to, so why not now? The most important thing here is the title insurance company, not the title closing company, okay? You always want to choose your title insurance company because the seller shouldn't care. He's paying for the premium, but all companies' premiums are exactly the same by law. So it doesn't matter which company. If he's, I want you to buy Shifting Sands Mutual because my buddy is an agent for them. No, I'm buying Chicago Title. Well, that's not. I'm the one paying for it. No, you're paying it for it, but you're not going to choose who the insurance company is because long after you're gone and I have a title insurance claim, that insurance company better be around, and that's why I want to do business with one of the 5 top title companies. All right, so that is how we do it, folks. I think that's about it. Yeah, we're right back to the very beginning. Let me stop sharing my screen. So that's what we talked about on the call tonight. If you want to find out more about the owner forum, just drop us a line at info@multifamilyinvestingacademy.com. check on multifamilyinvestingacademy.com for my upcoming events. I might be coming to a city or town near you, and I'd love to meet you. I'd love to get to know you, and come to one of my events. They're a lot of fun, and you will learn a ton about multifamily.